Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the opening match of the monstrous Paul Birchall, accompanied as we see by Chaos and Raj Ghosh.
To my right, he is right here in Portsmouth, Raj Ghosh.
A very favourable response for the local boy Raja.
And his opponent coming out of the corner to my left, from Guildford, he is Paul Birchall.
And a very intense but perhaps mixed reaction there for Paul Birchall, one of the most impressive faces on the UK scene in the past year or so. Paul Birchall really having made an enormous impact since his debut at Future Shock 1. Paul Birchall really one of now the top faces perhaps in the UK scene, taking on the more established Raj Ghosh. Raja, of course, one of the first crop of rookies to debut at FWA Academy High Potential, has since turned into something of a mini-seasoned veteran. He's really worked the ropes up and down the country, and he'll be looking to take it to the monstrous Paul Birchall, who rarely suffers a defeat. Birchall's last high-profile defeat came at the hands of the explosive newcomer PJ Black. PJ from South Africa, an unknown quantity. Birchall, no idea how to combat this unknown force within the FWA Academy. And there we see a big drop kick from Raj Ghosh, who can really put the speed on when he wants to. And now taking it to Birchall in the corner with a few hard shoulders and some monstrous punches there, right to the gut. Another Irish whip, and we're seeing Raj almost manhandling Birchall in a way I would have never thought possible, but Birchall just rolling with cat-like agility straight back up to his feet. A kick from the game youngster Raja, and another snapmare. Birchall just shrugging it off and staring intensely into Raja's eyes. This battle is really about to hit it off, and there we see again Raja with a kick to the gut, and there we see a big ace crusher, jawbreaker type manoeuvre, dumping Birchall down. Raja doing all he can, taking him down with a big clothesline, and one more, really chucking Paul Birchall around and finally clotheslining him to the outside. And a very impressive start from Raj Ghosh to an awesome reaction from the fans here at Buckland Community Centre, motioning for Birchall to get back in. Birchall must be incredibly annoyed, and there we see being chucked straight back down to the outside. Raj Ghosh low bridging that rope and cockily dancing within the ring at Birchall down on the floor. Birchall again storming the ring in another mad dash, but again being pulled down to the floor, and Raja is really on top form today. A big grin on his face. Raj we see operating alone without the help of his younger brother Rishi, and going for it again, but no, Birchall, he had it scouted that time, stopping, drop kicking the young Ghosh in the back and the side and the ribs, and now Birchall is back on form. On the outside, Chaos putting the boots in. I'm not sure if the referees noticed, he may be too busy attending to Birchall, and now Birchall with a thunderous left foot, and Raj Ghosh again to the side of his ribs. Raj is laid out on the floor. Referee Andy Quilden making the count, and Raj's head just being smashed directly into the ringside apron. Birchall, cocky, crafty and confident as ever. He's taken the bat from Chaos, surely not, but no, there we see Raja cutting him off from down below. A few shots to the gut, a few chops that we see there, some back elbows perhaps, an Irish whip, and Birchall goes careering into that ring post. Very hard, base and shoulder first. As Birchall gets to his feet, I believe we've seen Raja with the bat, Chaos running around, but there we see the wily Birchall cutting Raja off, ducking down behind the apron and cutting him off as Chaos was chased around ringside. Raj taking the bat and looking to give her a taste of her own medicine perhaps, and I don't know what we saw there was perhaps Birchall had something in mind with the ring apron perhaps, with the ring bell, I'm not entirely sure. Raja being flung back into the inside of the ring, and now Birchall is back on top. Shot to the gut there, one more. Suspiciously closed fist, and now a snapmare for Raja. What's Birchall got in mind? Single arm Japanese chokehold. He's barring that arm off, pulling back round. Not quite a choke, but he's stretching him, stretching his back and his spine with his knee. Raj, his face contorted. He seems to be in a great deal of pain, lifting himself up to his feet, but no, being pulled off, and a big shoulder block spinning him out and taking him down. And it appears that Birchall has let all his fame, all his notoriety, everything that's been said about him get to his head, because he is really seeming to believe the hype and there's a great deal of cockiness about him in this match, letting the fans know that he really thinks he is all that. He's got Raj in that manoeuvre once more, but Raj doing everything he can, willing himself on to stand up and get out that move. He's back on his feet. Can he escape? Getting pulled out again, but no, and a big back body drop there, but Birchall being taken down by Raj Ghosh, and a huge thunderous clothesline taking Birchall down. Birchall disorientated, attempting to get back onto his feet. Raj Ghosh cutting him off with another one of those kicks to the gut, but an Irish whip being reversed, and a big back elbow from the big man Birchall taking Ghosh down. And now a cover, rather unusual 1-2, but a kick out from Raja. Both men now getting back to their feet. Birchall reaches his first. Raja apparently not realising what's going on, turning around only to be met by a big left elbow from Birchall. Irish whip out of the corner perhaps. Yep, there we go, we see it. Raj hitting the turnbuckle quite hard, but no, my goodness me, we just saw an arm drag straight into the turnbuckle. An enormous manoeuvre there, completely unexpected. Raja just arm drag Birchall out of nowhere, covering the ring. Birchall landing upside down in the turnbuckle, and that is really a gigantic manoeuvre. That is really huge, and it's just taken Birchall back down, and his leg appears to be in a great deal of pain, hitting that rope at full force, snapping off against it, maybe even hitting the tensioner, I'm not quite sure, but Raja is taking that to full effect. 1-2, double leg bridge over pin. Birchall managing to escape, but you've got to wonder how much is left of Birchall. Everyone knows he's got a great deal in the tank as we're seeing him fight back, but he's absorbed a surprisingly huge amount of punishment from the much smaller Raj Ghosh, and Birchall now taking a bit of a shortcut there. Should never have to, a man of his size, power and agility, but Birchall still opting to use the ropes as a leverage point and choke Raja out, as we see him blatantly do in the corner. He's got a 5 count to break it, but if he doesn't, that'd be a disqualification loss for Birchall, and neither man you'd have to think would be happy. A big back body drop. Birchall very athletic, landing on the apron, a drop kick to the knee taking Birchall down. That was a hefty tumble, and Birchall must be in a great deal of pain. Calling for a timeout. He should well know there are no timeouts in wrestling, and Raja bowling him out just to emphasise that fact. It should be noted, of course, that Birchall and Raj Ghosh have met only one time previously, and when this did happen, there was an injury loss, and that really wasn't a satisfactory finish for either man, and they'll both be looking to really show themselves up in this match, show themselves to be the superior athlete and superior wrestler. Raj will be looking for a decisive victory this time, really picking apart Birchall's leg. Running off the ropes, there we see a chop block to the back, and Birchall messily tumbling down to the floor. He's not able to put a great deal of pressure on that leg, as we can see, and now just roughly kicking him off with those legs. They are mammoth, they are rather enormous, tree trunk like legs, and a spinning kick from Birchall. Chop to the gut, what's he got in mind? Twisting Raja around, an Irish whip, but no, Raja, that martial arts background coming through with a high kick, and Birchall turning around only to meet a drop kick off the middle rope right to the leg. Raj taking a bit of a risk from the middle rope and pinpointing Birchall's leg. It is hard work, working on legs the size and width of Paul Birchall's, but you've got to imagine that if Raj can do the necessary amount of damage, that really will aid his quest. And here we see Birchall just catching Raj completely easily, rolling him forward with that fireman's carry and a picture perfect standing moonsault. Going for the shooting star perhaps, but no, Raja had that one scouted, managed to move out of the way. It's impressive that Birchall still has enough strength left in him to continue those incredible aerial manoeuvres, but that really is the calibre of wrestler, the calibre of athlete that you're dealing with in Paul Birchall there. Raja slapping on an Indian deathlock, a British figure 4, but Birchall managing to escape. Now Raj, what's he got in mind? There we see a beautiful wheelbarrow leg pick submission manoeuvre. He's hooking up both the legs round, those mammoth legs. What's he got in mind? Hooking them both round. He's looking for that final ankle point, I think. Has he got it? Yes, he's got it. There we go. A beautiful manoeuvre there. That wheelbarrow back in, managing to get the British figure 4 locked on, and he's really applying some pressure to Birchall. And my goodness me, we've just seen a tap out from Paul Birchall. I didn't think we'd see that, but Birchall, the pain was too much, and Raj Ghosh managing to force Birchall to submit. There was really nowhere for Birchall to go. It took 2 attempts, but finally that submission move was applied firmly. Raj Ghosh with a lovely wheelbarrow reversal, managing to do the impossible. He worked on that leg throughout the match, and at the end of the day, Raj Ghosh managed to get Paul Birchall to submit. We're back and greeted by what appears to be an array of similarly dressed helpers of the specialist Mark Sloan, who's due to make an appearance. We're seeing, I believe, yep, there, we can see Mark Sloan there wearing a blue hooded robe. He appears to have with him a number of similarly dressed helpers, or I mean, they're looking extremely similar. We can see a stool there. This is what is this? A team of, I mean, we've got a spit bucket. A group of people helping him. I can make them out. They're all wearing hoods. We've got a water boy there, a bucket, and people, really some managers. We've got some people there with towels, and I mean, we're seeing a team tactic here. Perhaps I'm not entirely sure. Max Voltage here making his appearance at Buckland Community Centre, taking on his long-time nemesis, the specialist Mark Sloan, who he defeated in his debut matchup. Voltage running around the ring, needing to be wary of this group. Voltage leaping to the top rope to a favourable reaction. I'm not sure how he's going to be dealing with this group of people who've been enlisted, I imagine, to help out the specialist Mark Sloan in his career.
Introducing first from the corner to my left, he is from Portsmouth, the specialist Mark Sloan. And to my right, also from Portsmouth, give it up for the human dynamo, Max Voltage!
The human dynamo, Max Voltage, raising his arms to a favourable reception, not quite as much so for Sloan, and you have to think, Mark Sloan, never adverse to bending or breaking the rules, has done so at various points in his matches throughout his career. You have to wonder how this group of people is going to affect the game plan of Sloan and of Voltage and the matchup in general. And here we see a big starter drop kick, 3/4 roll out of an Irish whip, Voltage landing on his feet from a back drop, ducking a super kick, a hard elbow there. What's Voltage got in mind? But no, a forearm from Sloan. A couple of them make that a kick and a chop, and Voltage landing very curiously on the top rope. Not sure how that happened. Don't know if Voltage does either. 1, 2, 3. A few claps there from Voltage up on the top rope, and the specialist Mark Sloan just pacing the ring, scoping out his opponent. And then we see a lock-up attempt, but no, the specialist going for that wrist. Voltage putting out both of his feet, but being spun round, landing on the apron, however, vaulting back into the ring and back up onto the top rope as if nothing had happened. I think Sloan may have spotted that, however. Voltage now hopping to the top rope, bouncing down, twisting to his feet. Sloan lifting him up, dropping him down, but no, Voltage again on his feet. Sloan blocking a shot and finally managing to take him down. With that wrist lock takeover, spinning round, we've got a maestral there, a 2 count only. Voltage looking for a pin, can't quite seem to get the shoulders down as Sloan gets up. Voltage there with a sunset flip, but no, reversed. A 2 count only, and make that another 2 count. Voltage being spun round for yet another, spinning round again, a 2 count only, being reversed. My goodness me, we're seeing a huge series here. Another 2 count, Voltage bridging out, spinning around. We've got an Oklahoma roll there, a 2 count, surely, and then Sloan going for a number of stamps. Finally, a kick there, and Voltage nipping up, landing on his feet, and both men unable to get any sort of an advantage there in that series. There we see the specialist Mark Sloan going for a drink of water there. Voltage quite keen not to let him get that. And there, just roughly pulling the specialist out there, attempted to block with his feet. Voltage caught that, now being pushed over, landing on the apron, arm dragging Sloan down. Voltage going for a shot, blocked with a foot from the educated feet of the specialist. Voltage ducking a few, landing on his feet and managing to bridge out of the way of that kick, avoiding the elbow drop. And what's he got in mind there? A Hurricane Rana taking Sloan over, and both men on opposite sides of the ring now. Shot blocked, kick blocked, and Voltage getting kicked roughly in the face. Yakuza kick, Voltage had that one scouted. Going for an enziguri perhaps, but no, spun over. And now Sloan has both legs, flicking Voltage. Voltage landing on his feet, however. Vaulting to the top rope and being lifted into the air. Sloan dumping him down, and enziguri clipping Voltage really hard around the back of the head and neck. And that's the first proper high impact move we've seen throughout the course of this matchup. Voltage clutching at his head, appears to be in a great deal of pain. That kick right from the educated feet of Mark Sloan, extremely hard, clipping him round the back of the head. And there we see Sloan roughly standing over him, accepting a drink of water from one of his helpers there with that specialist themed bucket. And Voltage being roughly pulled back onto his back in the middle of the ring, off the middle rope. Sloan having no qualms about roughly ripping Voltage's face up with that submission manoeuvre, tearing out Voltage's facial features. Voltage perhaps looking to get up to his feet, grasping around the specialist's hands, attempting to alleviate some of the pressure, but those knees really aren't going to help him in that cause. Voltage now fighting his way up, but no, a big elbow drop from the back of Sloan, smashing down into the rear of the skull. And Voltage now firing back into the few shots, and again another cut off. And you're noticing that Sloan is really focusing on the head, neck and top of the shoulder region of Voltage with all these manoeuvres. You've got to think that perhaps his game plan going into this match is to pick that particular body part of Voltage out and use that to his advantage. And indeed we're seeing him apply cravat here, hook off one of the legs to prevent Voltage from moving. Voltage with a few elbows, firing off again, but no, roughly being chucked into the bottom and middle turnbuckles, bouncing off the ropes. Sloan very confidently, you notice that Voltage has been chucked into the opposition corner there. There we see Voltage flipping to his feet, a German suplex attempt, but there we see again Voltage managing to reach to his feet, and alley-oop, but Voltage again landing on the middle rope, but Sloan with a shot to the back of the neck there, and a reverse slam into the top turnbuckle, and a vicious drop kick just scraping down Voltage's back, culminating at the base of his head, really sending it with great force into the middle turnbuckle. And now a very unusual position, being hopped up, Voltage managing to get up onto the shoulders, but no, being dumped down, throat first, chin first, right onto that top strand. Voltage with an innovative and exciting flurry of offense, but it really couldn't do too much as Sloan cut him straight back off with a very unique reversal, dumping him off the shoulders position onto that top turnbuckle. And there we see utilising the hand towel, of one of his helpers, drying himself off, getting a drink of water, really bending, breaking and obliterating the rule book that Sloan himself put into place at the FWA Academy. And you have to think that's a bit of hypocrisy there. Sloan, the leader and trainer at the FWA Academy, never minding to break the rules himself. Voltage preferring always to operate within them, sometimes at a disadvantage to himself, as has been seen throughout his careers. A reluctance to break the rules there, and there we see Voltage not even opting to go for the ropes, instead attempting to break it. Sloan having it scouted each time, again going for that throw over. Voltage landing on the apron, however, a shot to the back, and bolting over, going for that max factor it seems. No, apparently not, being lifted back up to his feet and spinning over, almost for a backslide there. Sloan going for a clothesline. There we see the electric shock, the snap, Ferris wheel, merry-go-round suplex, and a cover, 1, 2, and a 2 count only. Voltage not looking very happy at that state of affairs. Sloan managing to kick out before the vital 3 count, and now being twisted around. Voltage, he's got an eye on that turnbuckle and he's looking to take to the air. We just saw Sloan look up. Hopefully that doesn't mean that he has the ability to move. And what has Voltage got in mind? My goodness me, going for a 450. Sloan put his feet up, but Voltage managing to adjust in midair, hook his way around them and turn that into a bridging pin manoeuvre. And now Voltage turning to the middle rope and spinning around with a beautiful twisting tornado DDT. dumping Sloan straight down on his head. Voltage on his feet now, his neck and head have absorbed a lot of punishment, but he appears to have a little more left in the tank, climbing up the ropes again, perhaps going for another one of his many high-flying manoeuvres. The referee was distracted by yet another of them, and now a shot to the back of the head from Sloan, vaulting over, and a head scissors taking Voltage off the top rope and all the way across the ring. And I was correct, Sloan's army have really come into play throughout this match. Since breaking off from Stixx, Sloan has surrounded himself by a group of helpers who are very willing to operate outside the realms of the rules of wrestling, and Sloan can really get it done if he has to, and it's a shame that he feels the need to use this crew. Here we see a very interesting Japanese style stranglehold from a neck breaker manoeuvre, Voltage having really nowhere to go, attempting to shake it off, but it's having no effect. Sloan instead opting to release the move himself. I'm not sure what Voltage would have done had Sloan opted to act otherwise, and now Voltage looking for the ropes, looking for an area of safety, but with those on the outside and Sloan on the inside, there really is not a great deal that Voltage can do. Sloan now going for a powerbomb, perhaps no, twisting around the legs, wrapped around the head of Max Voltage, really causing him a great deal of pain on his head and neck, and a hard forearm for Voltage. And now Sloan lifting him up with that sickening Dirty Man DDT, a vertical drop, dumping him directly on his head, but no, being reversed into a roll-up, 1, 2, but no, just the 2 count only there. Voltage, who managed to reverse that DDT, and he's hopping back up. What's he got in mind? Going for a poison Hurricane Rana perhaps, but that's been reversed by Sloan, who hoists him up, but no, Voltage going all the way around, back over into a cover, 1, 2, and a kick out there from Sloan, who managed to get up before that elusive 3 count could be Voltage's. Voltage still on his feet, however, lifting up, wrapping around Sloan and taking him down with an STO-like maneuver, 1, 2, and again, Sloan kicking out before the 3 count. Voltage needs to pull something big out of the tank if he wants to get this done. Otherwise, Sloan could take advantage of Voltage's already injured head and neck. And there we see a nice lion salt from Voltage, going for that cover, 1, 2. But as we can see, Voltage gripping his neck throughout the cover, not having enough time to apply full body weight or hook a leg properly, apply enough pressure to prevent Sloan from getting out. Voltage now turning around, got something in mind, but no, a drop toe hold from Sloan, sending him careering violently into the middle turnbuckle, and again into that corner where he really doesn't want to be. And there we see a boot to his face, just ripping him open, and a twisting kick right to Voltage's stomach and face. Voltage rolling down to the apron, a swift boot for one of Sloan's helpers, and going for a shoulder up, perhaps Sloan out of the way, and a twisting neck breaker through the ropes. Very interesting manoeuvre, 1, 2, and at the last possible second, Voltage raising his left shoulder, draping one arm in the ropes. At least if he can be near the ropes, he can drape an arm or a hand onto them, but at this rate, Sloan lifting him up for a big power bomb, dropping him right on the back of his neck and his shoulders. And there we see again Sloan taking a quick water break, putting it back in the bucket, and you can see the tremendous advantage that Sloan is at. Dan Head, Voltage's partner, not even out with him today. And there we see a tilt-a-whirl into a Hurricane Rana. Voltage from nowhere managing to get back into this thing, and now lifting Sloan up. Big forearm to Sloan's chest, and Voltage doing all he can, attempting to climb to the top rope. What's he got in mind? Top rope, Hurricane Rana, taking Sloan down and staggering over for that cover, 1, 2, and again a kick out from Sloan. Slapping the mat in frustration, part attempting to boost his own adrenaline levels and will himself to continue. Voltage has absorbed a great deal of punishment, but he needs to press his advantage now. Running off the ropes, twisting himself around and around and around. We've just seen the quadruple tilt-a-whirl, 1, 2, and again a kick out at the last second. The quadruple tilt-a-whirl, previously one of Max's favourite finishing manoeuvres, couldn't get the job done against Sloan. Voltage has to be wondering, what does it take to finish this man off? Perhaps the Max factor. Voltage going for it, but no, Sloan catching him and dumping him viciously head first onto his knee with that cradle breaker. Voltage's eyes are glazed over, he's hanging limp and lifeless, We just saw his shoulder pads just ping open, and Sloan now going one of the most sickening moves in the academy. There we saw it, dumping him straight on his head. The dirty man DDT, just taking Voltage out, and you have to know that this is all she wrote. 1, 2, and Sloan lifting Voltage's head off the mat, claiming that that's not all he wants to do. Perhaps he wants to, perhaps this has been on the advice of those. If not, I have really no idea. No, going for a kick, I believe. I don't think Voltage even saw that, just dropping down to one knee, staggering, searching around. He can see Sloan there, just getting up, charging off the ropes, twisting himself around, and there we go, that tilt-a-whirl DDT, dumping Sloan on his head, and Voltage now, what's he got in mind? He's going for it. It's the max factor. 1, 2, 3, and at the last possible second, Sloan kicking out of Voltage's max factor. Voltage heading up to the top rope, going perhaps for that 450 splash he attempted earlier. Yep, there we see it, but no, there's no water in the pool, and Voltage just landing on his knees, gasping for breath. He's been winded, lifted up into the air. The Tomorrow Driver dropping him straight on his head. 1, 2, and 3, and that's everything. That's it, that's all. Sloan has just pinned Voltage, a very hard-fought contest, but at the end of the day, Voltage absorbed too much punishment, and there was too much at ringside that would prevent him from doing what he thought would be rightfully his and win that match. And as if any confirmation were needed, Sloan is the winner. Yes, I repeat, Mark Sloan is the winner. And there you can see, look, the adulation. Also happy that their hero has done so well, despite the fact that they flagrantly cheated on many times in order to prevent Voltage from winning that match. Still, a very hard-fought contest from both men, and credit where it's due. Sloan kicked out of the max factor, and Voltage, at the end of the day, the Tomorrow Driver taking him down for the inevitable 3 count. A warm celebration for Sloan and his cohorts, and commiserations for Voltage, who put up a good fight but just couldn't get it done.
From Portsmouth, and the new kid on the block, Herne. And his opponent from Hartford, Raj Jordan.
An interesting one-on-one encounter here between the Academy heartthrob, the Little Dragon, Ross Jordan, and the new kid on the block, Herne, one of the Academy's youngest and least experienced wrestlers. These two one-time partners now taking each other on one-on-one in what promises to be a very nice technical contest with maybe a seasoning of the lucha stylings, which Ross Jordan likes to specialise in. And here we see an exchange of wrist locks there, a nip-up from Herne, and Jordan looking for a reversal of his own, turning in, pointing upwards and twisting out. Nice headlock from Jordan. It should be noted, of course, Jordan training with the great Johnny Kidd at various times, has obviously learned a lot from him, a lot of very nice reversals, and there we see a lovely reversal of his own from Herne, who twisted out of that manoeuvre, and Ross Jordan giving credit where credit's due. A nice round of applause for Herne there. A lock up, and Jordan snapping that headlock back on. Herne looking for a way out, opts to push off for the ropes, gets it, hard shoulder tackle for Herne. Jordan dropping back down and opting to apply that headlock one more time. Herne again getting straight back up to his feet, going for another push off, gets it but no, slapping on a headlock of his own, this time giving Jordan a taste of his own medicine. Jordan now pushing Herne off. Now we're seeing a hard shoulder tackle for Jordan. Herne running off the ropes, and no, going for a headlock, no, opting instead to go for a pin. Jordan kicking out before the 3 count, just a 2 there. Switch, Jordan dropping down, leaping over, and hitting a enormous hip toss there on Herne, sorry. Herne putting the boots up, dumping him down, and a big arm drag, taking Herne down. Jordan spinning him round into a beautiful crucifix pin there. Herne straight back up into a maestral cradle. Both men back on their knees, eyeing each other up, and a mutual show of respect for these one-time partners who are acknowledging the undeniable talent that both wrestlers possess. Oh, things starting to get a little more heated here with a clash of chests, and Jordan running off, as is Aaron, with a pair of shoulders. Once more, neither men budging. Aaron going for one, Jordan going for a clothesline, and finally managing to hit a beautiful martial arts style spinning kick there to the chest of Aaron Herne. Lovely crescent kick manoeuvre there, taking Herne down, and Jordan finally pressing an advantage, lifting him up for a big sit down body slam. 1, 2, and a kick out there. Jordan putting up boots into Herne as he rests in the corner, and an Irish whip. Herne hitting the opposite corner hard. Jordan going for that elbow, but no, being met with an elbow of his own from Herne, who leaps over and fires off a lovely head scissors from the back all the way over Jordan's body, sending him over. And now Herne with an Irish whip shooting him off, hitting a lovely flipping drop kick, and Jordan staggering to his feet. What's Herne got in mind? A leg lariat, taking the little dragon down. Kick out there from that lateral press, maybe not getting quite enough of it as he needed to from Aaron, and another Irish whip. Jordan being sent off, but blocking that back body drop in fine style, lifting up and dumping him down with that fisherman style suplex that Jordan likes to use. And again, another cover, but we're seeing another kick out. Both men going for that cover early on in the match, and throughout the match doing all they can to end the match as early as possible. And here we see a beautiful manoeuvre, call it the pendulum of pain if you will, being rocked back and forward before being dropped unceremoniously with that lovely submission move from Ross Jordan, who elbow drops Herne and once more goes for a cover. Slightly more cocky and arrogant this time, perhaps emotions running a little high throughout the course of this match between these two one-time partners. Herne being lifted up and sent off the ropes, but no, managing to leap over with a beautiful sunset flip. A cover there, reversed into a cover of his own, but no, not able to get it. Jordan going for a cover, being pushed down, lifting back up into a cover of his own. 1, 2, again, not managing to get it, and a big swift kick to the side of the head teaches Aaron a thing or two, as does that super kick right there, and Aaron just dropping straight back down. Jordan dispensing with the niceties and the exchanging of pins for 2 counts only, deciding to take things home a little faster with a pair of kicks, and now a rear chin lock leaning over him, but Aaron attempting to get back up to his feet, winning himself on, and a few elbows aiding him as well, running off the ropes, but Jordan going for a clothesline, missed, but hitting with that big back elbow. Jordan now applying the chin lock once more to Herne, who slaps the mat. The crowd reciprocating, clapping Herne on, doing everything they can to ensure that he escapes the move. He's done so, ducking a few shots, a kick of his own, and what's Herne got in mind? Lifting up, double underhook, and a sit-out tiger bomb. 1, 2, and a kick out at the last possible second there from Jordan. Jordan not looking too confident about that, rolling backwards just before the 3, managing to get a cover, and Herne dragging Jordan into the corner. Looks as if he's going for some form of high-flying manoeuvre, often favouring the middle rope moonsault. Perhaps that's what he's got in mind. Taking a little too much time, however, throughout this period. Jordan can really get his wits about him, and there we saw that middle rope moonsault that he likes to use. However, Herne really waited slightly too long, and Jordan managing to move out of the way. Lifting up, is he going for that exclamation point manoeuvre? No. Being blocked by Herne. Herne again going for his tiger bomb perhaps. not quite getting it. Jordan leaping off the ropes, back somersault to his feet, catching him and twisting into the exclamation point, and what a phenomenal manoeuvre there from Ross Jordan, and that's all for the 3 count. A really beautiful finishing manoeuvre there from Ross Jordan, with a picture perfect back somersault, landing on his feet and twisting and lifting Aaron Herne through the air, dumping him down face first with that exclamation point.
Introducing first, from Portsmouth, the team of Harry Mills and Dan James. And their opponents, all the way from Birmingham, Spud and Jack Sloan.
The Birmingham connection against the silent and enigmatic team of Mills and James. The young Spitfire Spud getting the crowd all riled up and going in the early stages of the match, and opting to go into the ring first against the brooding, silent Dan James there, as you can see with the skinhead. A lock up for these two men. Dan James slapping on that headlock extremely tightly, just squeezing Spud's skull in, switching around again working the headlock, searching for that wrist. He gets it, twisting it over. Spud flipping around onto his back, but back up to his feet, looking for a top wrist lock perhaps. Nope, converting into a test of strength, spinning him around. A lovely chop to the chest from Spud. One more, being eyed up by Dan James, but there we see a beautiful manoeuvre from Spud, who floats up the ropes and gets hip toss for Dan James, who pushes him down with both feet. Spud back on his feet, but a headlock from Dan James now, being pushed off. Hard shoulder tackle there, going down, and a leapfrog from the young Spud. An elbow reversed, however, by Dan James. Spud looking for a wheelbarrow, arm drag there we see, ducking another shot and firing off a beautiful tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Arm drag there, barring off the arm, and Spud really so impressive in the early goings of this match. One of the premier high flyers in the UK, recently fought Max Voltage and defeated him in one of his first matches back from a horrific arm injury he suffered against the monstrous Paul Birchall. And now we see Jack Storm in the ring, lovely leg lariat from Spud as he makes his exit, and the sadistic Jack Storm, as he is known, ready to make his presence felt in the ring with a few brutal forearms. Being cut off, however, in rough fashion by Dan James, who fires off a few clubbing blows to the back before lifting Storm up, dumping him down with a body slam. Cocky cover there, but he doesn't get it as he makes a tag instead to his partner, the equally silent and obscure Harry Mills. Double chop, taking down Jack Storm there. Harry Mills firing off a few forearms and a chop to the chest. Jack Storm reversing, however, and hitting a picture perfect power slam. 1, 2, and a kick out. Really nice manoeuvre there, dumping Mills down and going for another one. No, instead hitting that fat splat, as he likes to call it. Big elbow drop and a leg drop right to the throat of Harry Mills, and going for a cover. 1, 2, and another kick out. Mills having absorbed quite a fair bit of punishment from Jack Storm already. That clubbing blow, that forearm certainly not helping, but Mills still managing to fire off a few more forearms. Big Yakuza kick to the side of the head, rearranging Harry Mills' facial features, but still able to kick out before the 3 count. The sadistic Jack Storm needs to inflict a bit more pain if he wants to win the match. Big slam, Storm ready to take to the air perhaps? Dear me, no. Tagging in Spud, of course, perhaps more equipped in that area, and a beautiful frog splash, just bouncing off the canvas, and again a 2 count only for Mills. Spud, incredibly versatile when flying through the air and also when operating at high speeds, also capable of lighting up Mills' chest with a chop, as we see there, and Mills vaulting over, and my god, did you see that German suplex? Spud landing on his neck at a very high angle, just being tossed backwards by Harry Mills, and Spud firing off some forearms valiantly after that enormous manoeuvre. A tag there for the team of Mills and James, who work together ever so well. We've seen them within the FWA Academy, both very similar styles, similar builds, working together so well as a tag team. And Mills diving off with a enormous cannonball senton into the corner, just scraping his body straight down Spud's, who's being compressed into the corner. And there we see a choke by Dan James, breaking off before the 5. And now once more going for that choke, and you can really see the brooding, silent, menacing anger from Dan James. Spud looking around him, not sure where he is, head being smashed into the turnbuckle, and an Irish whip shooting him into the corner. Big hard clothesline, another Irish whip, going for his diving clothesline perhaps. Yep, there we see it. One of Dan James's famous combo. There we see a vertical suplex, and will we see it? Best fisherman suplex in the FWA Academy right there, with a beautiful bridge from Dan James, getting himself all the way over, but Spud managing to kick out of it. Even so, you have to know he's absorbed a great deal of punishment in the process. And a tag there for Harry Mills, and it appears that another double team manoeuvre is on the cards for Mills and James. Big double hip toss, spinning him round and dumping Spud almost on his buttocks, and a double leaping pair of leg lariats to the face of Spud, who's grasping his face in pain. Harry Mills taking advantage of that opening with a pair of knee drops, make that a third with a bit of an extra jump, and Spud now on his back in a cover position, still able to muster a kick out. Harry Mills lifting Spud up and taking him over with a lovely vertical suplex. Again, referee Andy Quilden with that count, but still not able to reach the 3. Once more, we're seeing a tag from these two who are really working together ever so well. Going for a double suplex perhaps. Nope, spinning around their double Falcon Arrow style sit-out manoeuvre, and a cover attempt. The referee not seeing it, however. 1, 2, and Spud conserving his energy, but able to kick out there just before the 3. Front face lock applied by Dan James, sensibly spreading out his body weight so as to make it extra hard for Spud to make his way up. Spud, the smallest by far of all the wrestlers in the FWA Academy, bar the FWA Academy Juniors, one of the smallest wrestlers working in the UK scene at the moment, still able to put up a very good fight against anyone who he's in with, even Paul Birchall, though he did sadly suffer a broken arm with his beautiful Phoenix splash, misfiring slightly. 1, 2, and a kick out there after that. Big spine buster from Dan James, drilling Spud directly into the mat. Spud's head smashed into the turnbuckle, and a tag for Harry Mills entering the ring, and a brutal pair of kicks to the gut. What have these two got in mind? One of their many varied and unusual double team manoeuvres. And going for that manoeuvre again perhaps, but no, a wheelbarrow bulldog covered Baymaster there. Beautiful from Spud, who can really think on his feet. He saw his opportunity. There we're going for that same leap off cannibal senton manoeuvre, but Spud leaping off himself, off Dan James's back, into a wheelbarrow, and then applying a bulldog and using his leg to leg drop him down with a Baymaster. Fantastic. Pair of clotheslines, finally managing to make the tag. The sadistic Jack Storm is in, lifting him up, taking him over with a walkout fisherman suplex. Clothesline in, snapmare down, and that brutal kick to the face, just wiping him out. And a big diving clothesline over the top rope. My goodness me, did you see that tumble? Dan James and the sadistic Jack Storm just going all the way down to the floor. And a big clothesline from Spud, who looked to be angling to take to the air. Harry Mills had that one scouted and cut him off with a big clothesline. Harry Mills diving off with a beautiful Asai moonsault. I'm not sure how much he caught of Jack and how much he caught of his opponent, of his partner, Dan James, sorry. But such is the way occasionally when taken to the air. It is called high risk for a reason, as Spud can attest to. But now on the top rope, bouncing again with a beautiful somersault dive to the floor. He really caught all of that one. A beautiful manoeuvre. Spud so incredibly graceful when flying through the air. Jack Storm now rolling Mills in. Sadly, not seeing a beautiful somersault dive from Jack Storm on this outing. Forearm for Mills, and now a hard Irish whip into the ring, and a leaping, diving forearm right across his face. However, Irish whip reversed. Harry Mills leaping in with a knee right to the chin of Storm, and now Mills lifting him up. What's he got in mind? A superplex attempt perhaps. A few forearms, but no. Mills just being pushed straight off, and now Jack Storm sat atop the middle rope. What's he got in mind? No. Mills having time to get back up to his feet, but there we see a boot and a tornado DDT attempt, not quite managing to get it, and Harry Mills pushing him so that his legs are on the apron, and now are we going to see it? Dan James is up on the apron as well, snapping his head backwards and then forwards with that DDT, and that really wasn't pretty. 1, 2, and a horrific landing there for Jack Storm after that awesome double team manoeuvre. Jack looking to be in a great deal of pain. Spud turning round, hitting his DDT onto knee, going for a twisting suplex neck breaker. Beautiful manoeuvre, and Harry Mills, breaking that cover attempt up before it could even get started. Jack standing now on the apron, looking to be in a large amount of pain. Spud taking it to both wrestlers, forearming them both, and inadvertently knocking his partner Jack Storm off. He didn't see that one coming, and he didn't see Dan James in the corner with his boot up, and that double team pedigree manoeuvre taking Spud straight down. 1, 2, and 3. That punishing double team finishing manoeuvre could well have broken Spud's nose, drilling him straight down, face first, into the mat. Incredibly hard. Mills and James making their presence felt, and a few malicious boots after the final bell has rung. An impressive showing for both teams. Mills and James on this occasion managing to come off the victors with that punishing and impressive, awesome display of double team prowess.
Introducing first, from Winchester, Aviv, Maayan! And his opponent, from Chichester, James Tighe!
Right here, this promises to be one of the FWA Academy's finest outings. I'm talking about that man there, James Tighe, one-time Rookie of the Year, ranked number 50 in the world's top wrestlers in Power Slam Wrestling magazine, and Aviv Maayan, touted as many as this year's Rookie of the Year, impressed so many people in so many high-profile matchups. He's really going places ever so fast within the FWA Academy and the world of wrestling as a whole. A beautiful exchange there, and a lovely, never-before-seen reversal from a headlock there from James Tighe, who's wringing Maayan's wrist. These two fought just once before when James Tighe was the Academy champion at that point. Aviv Maayan did not win the match. He succumbed to a press slam Titanic from the second rope, but nevertheless a phenomenal outing at that point. A really incredible match which won rave reviews from everyone who saw it. This match promises to even better that one. More experienced Maayan and more experienced Tighe. These two have really got what it takes to produce a classic. And now a foot submission, a leg, and Maayan being spun around and caught in that headlock again. Tighe dropping down, Maayan looking to pull himself out. There he does so, applies a headlock of his own. Tighe applying some pressure to the back of Maayan's left leg, managing to apply a headlock of his own. This is a fine display of technical wrestling, going for a pair of headlocks, but finally James Tighe managed to pull his out. Maayan looking for a way out of the wrist lock, which Tighe switched it to, reversing, a reversal, another reversal, and finally Tighe managing to trip Maayan, taking him down, a quick stamp, and that top wrist lock is applied on the floor. Maayan looking for a way out between Tighe's legs, opting instead to nip up, step over, scoot backwards through Tighe's legs and leap up. Going perhaps, yep, there we see that lovely turning sunset flip, 1, 2, and Tighe rolling out and into the ropes, and a very smart manoeuvre, kicking out before the 3. The crowd appreciative of these two's work, and both men applauding each other and the fans and pretty much everyone in attendance. Everything about this match so far has been about respect, and that's what the fans at Buckland Community Centre do like to see. A nice, respectful contest between two masterful wrestlers. James Tighe, whose technical prowess is pretty much unequalled within the FWA Academy. The same could be said perhaps about Aviv Maayan's incredible ability to take to the air and soar through the air in really undeniably graceful positions. His top rope moonsault to the floor is something unequalled within the FWA Academy, and there we see a hard headlock from Tighe, managing to break the head scissors, and now back with a wrist lock. Maayan reversing to a wrist lock of his own, and now a headlock of his own, and Tighe will be looking for an escape, going for the legs perhaps. Nope, spinning Aviv round onto his feet and providing a sunset flip. Aviv clipping his legs around Tighe's head, and a clothesline ducked into a waist lock. Maayan rolling backwards and straight into a rolling nip up, a shot blocked. Maayan sending Tighe off, a leapfrog, make that a pair, and add a hurricane runner to complete that trifecta. A lovely little combo there from Maayan, taking Tighe down, and an Irish whip reversed by Tighe, broken off by Maayan with a forearm, and a hip toss into a wheelbarrow, into a roll up, 1, 2, and a kick out by Tighe. Maayan straight back on him, incredibly tenacious, and a big press slam from Tighe on Maayan, chucking him in the air, catching him, and bridging backwards into a lovely fall away slam pinning manoeuvre. Tighe must be undeniably fatigued by now, going at quite a fast pace throughout this match, shooting Aviv off, a slam, Aviv going behind, landing on his feet, going for a kick, landing on his feet again beautifully with that back somersault, and a moonsault style kick for Maayan, who is bounced backwards and over onto his stomach with the force of that lovely manoeuvre. 1, 2, and again, not quite the final 3. Hard clubbing forearm to the back of Maayan, and Tighe going for a slam. Yep. Another cover, 1, 2, again, doesn't quite manage to get it. Maayan needs to pull his wits about him if he wants to come back from where he is now and win this match up. It doesn't look too good. Tighe with a few hard forearms, running off the rope, but no, finally Maayan managing to duck and fire off a drop kick to the knee. Off the ropes, and a very, very hard shoulder block. Maayan being knocked off, but spun around into a beautiful tilt-a-whirl sunset flip. Never seen that before, but Tighe still managing to escape it. Switch off the ropes, and Maayan being spun around, landing on his feet and hitting that reverse DDT. 1, 2, and not quite a 3 there. Maayan using all his resources and all his wits about him to hit Tighe with a series of lovely tilt-a-whirl manoeuvres, and now as Tighe gets up in the corner, Maayan motioning that lovely leaping elbow smash, and as Tighe staggers out, a high cross body is however caught, spun round, Maayan managing to land on his feet, going for a pile driver or a powerbomb perhaps, surely can't manage to hit it. Tighe is just standing up, hooking his legs around and sitting him out with that lovely propeller slam. Going straight into a submission of sorts, hooking Maayan's legs around Tighe's leg, bridging backwards with a lovely wrestler's bridge, improving it slightly to hook Maayan's chin under Tighe's, and you can just tell by Aviv's expression he's in a vast amount of pain, looking for those ropes, inching his way towards them closer and closer, finally managing to get it. Tighe lifting Maayan up, charging him into the turnbuckle, going for an Irish whip, and sandwiching him in between the turnbuckle and Tighe's mammoth bicep with a big clothesline. Series of Irish whip reversals linked to Tighe tumbling down to the floor, and he's not safe there by any means. No one is when they're in the ring with Aviv Maayan. This guy can fly at you from all sorts of angles and all sorts of distances. And here we see Tighe leaping to his feet, and Maayan with a beautiful vaulting Hurricane Rana to the floor. A beautiful piece of artistry there from Maayan, who managed to leap over, land with 100% accuracy atop Tighe's shoulders and arch his way straight down to the floor, sending Tighe tumbling across onto those mats. Maayan now flinging him back in after that lovely aerial manoeuvre, looking to climb to the top rope perhaps. He does so, Tighe on his feet, and Aviv Maayan with a Dragon Rana, beautifully executed 1, 2, and a kick out. Maayan capable of doing so much in the ring and through the air. That lovely Dragon Rana, not able to get the job done, but what an impressive manoeuvre, and a hard forearm before lifting Tighe up, leaping up with Ninzagiri. Tighe attempting to shake off the damage done by Maayan's many high-flying manoeuvres, going for his double jump Hurricane Rana perhaps, but no. A few elbows, and Tighe with his double underhook Falcon Arrow off the top rope. That's never been done before. An incredible manoeuvre there from Tighe, taking Maayan all the way down to the mat with that awesome manoeuvre. You have to believe that if Tighe can gain a cover here, this would surely be all 1, 2, and Maayan incredibly managing to kick his way out of that manoeuvre, escape that pinfall. Maayan simultaneously one of the most resilient members of the FWA Academy, capable of escaping so much. Didn't quite manage to escape that vile little boot to the face there from Tighe. Quite simple, and it could well have knocked Aviv for 6 there, as we're seeing him struggling to get to his feet. Tighe opting instead just to smack him round the back of the head and ascend the second rope. What's he got in mind? Lifting Maayan up, and Maayan slipping all the way back down. You have to believe that's due to that boot to the face Maayan just received. He was looking very ginger as he was getting to his feet, and now attempting to climb up one more time. Tighe slapping him, giving him a quick forearm there to the side of the head, and looking to be going for a press slam perhaps, but no. Maayan flipping around with that beautiful victory roll off the top rope, but Tighe raising his shoulder, Aviv doing the same, seeing as both wrestlers had their shoulders down on the mat, that cover. And as the referee makes it count, this really has been a phenomenal contest so far. Both men really putting their heart and soul into this, kicking out some enormous manoeuvres, and now Maayan firing off a forearm, Tighe doing the same. Maayan, Tighe, both firing off. Big forearm from Maayan, Tighe switching tacks with a European uppercut. Maayan with one as well. Tighe, Maayan with a forearm, an exchange of forearms there, and Tighe lifting him up, dispensing with the niceties with a big Titanic. He gets it, 1, 2, and there we see a 3 count there. James Tighe with the Titanic, victorious for a second time.
The winner of the match, James Tighe.
And actually no, Aviv Maayan's foot is on the ropes. It was on the ropes before that 3 count. Referee Andy Quilden attempting to explain to James Tighe the match therefore was not won by Tighe. This needs to be sorted out. Maayan gradually pulling himself up. Tighe, confused, believed he had the match won. So did I, so did the fans. That looked to be the finish there. Tighe dropping him with the Titanic, and
Which means that James Tighe is not the winner. This match continues.
the match still going on then. We're seeing it's all back on. Aviv managed to hop his way up with the sunset flip, and there we have it, 1, 2, 3. Maayan in all the confusion, leaping up with the twisting sunset flip, managing to get the pinfall victory on James Tighe. An incredible shot there. Both men 1-all in their series of matchups. An awesome reaction there for the ex-champion, the Irish Eamon Shrahan. Fans awesomely appreciative of the work this great ex-champion has done. Never too focused on the fans during his time with the belt. they've really come to respect and love him since his reign was ended, and he too has come to really respect and really almost play to them at various times.
And his opponent from County Offaly in Ireland, Eamon, Shrahan.
A changed Eamon Shrahan we see, really a fan favourite, getting those fans clapping to an adoring reaction from the fans here at Buckland Community Centre. They really do seem to love their Eamon. Sadly, not so much a fan of the leering Mark Underwood, this hulking brute whose array of powerful suplexes and slams has devastated and destroyed many an opponent within the FWA Academy rings. And now a trip with a wrist lock there. Shrahan being lifted up, and Underwood unusually opting for a rather nice and fancy little pinning combination, not his usual style. And there we see that big, wide grin of Underwood's. Lock up there, side headlock from Shrahan reversed into a hammerlock, and spun round in a lovely manoeuvre from Underwood into a back waist lock. Underwood, and that's more like it, that's more like Underwood's normal style. Sadly, we saw a slap to the back of the head and a delightful snot rag from Underwood, who should really learn not to do that when in the ring with his opponent. It's impolite. And Shrahan calmly getting those fans into it. I'm sure he'll put pay to Underwood for that particular manoeuvre. And there we see Underwood with that wrist lock once more. Shrahan with a lovely reversal, ducking down twice and a third time, then finally spinning round, forward roll, lovely nip up, breaking it off and firing off with a great big drop kick from the big man from Dublin. Both men circling each other, and it should be noted that Eamon is not in fact from Dublin. That was a generalisation. He's from County Offaly. That doesn't stop him from applying such manoeuvres as this wrist lock, which he's been going back to. Underwood with a headlock, spinning him around with a wrist lock of his own and turning in. Underwood perhaps attempting to adapt to Shrahan's style, and Shrahan really outpacing him there with that beautiful spinning manoeuvre culminating in a headlock. And Underwood now using his power to shoot Shrahan off, and that shoulder tackle having absolutely no effect whatsoever. Underwood grinning and enjoying it, and my goodness me, Shrahan going for one more big one, sliding through instead, going high, breaking off, spinning round, leaping over, scooting his legs through backwards, going high, going low, spinning around, really disorientating Underwood. My goodness me, 1, 2, and a kick out there. Beautiful series of manoeuvres there from Shrahan, doing all he can to disorientate his opponent, Mark Underwood. He's got the headlock applied once more. Underwood once more going to push him off, going for a big hard clothesline, make that a second, not quite getting it. Hip toss, blocked twice, clothesline ducked by Underwood, and Shrahan firing off a few hard back elbows and going for his rope run bulldog perhaps. Nope, doesn't quite get it, and instead receives an enormous back suplex into the top turnbuckle, bouncing off and grasping his head in pain. It may well have smashed against the metal tensioner. And a few kind words perhaps there from Chaos, as we can see alongside Mark Underwood. Chaos, baseball bat, ever present, always ready to ensure that her men win their match. And a big, gigantic, diving elbow smash to the back of Eamon's neck and head. Underwood brutally taken apart Shrahan. This is much more what the FWA Academy fans are used to seeing Underwood do. And there we see being chucked to the outside, Underwood attempting to distract the referee and doing so, and a big hard baseball bat shot to the back there from Chaos. The referee saw absolutely nothing, and there we see Chaos, as always, being the difference maker within this matchup. And there we see Underwood distracting the referee, forcing him to head back out and use the turnbuckle and reapply the turnbuckle pads that Underwood himself, and my goodness me, such flagrant show of disrespect there from Underwood. A few clubbing forearms to the back of Shrahan, and an Irish whip into the turnbuckle, and a huge belly-to-belly suplex over the top rope. Underwood raising both arms in a show of power, and he really did launch Shrahan all the way over him with that manoeuvre. That was awesome. Slap to the back of the head, and a gut wrench perhaps, no, being lifted over with an Argentine backbreaker, continuing to apply the pressure. And Shrahan finally managing to use his superior height advantage to slip down to his feet. TKO attempt there, and Shrahan managing to reverse it. A big knee to the face, and there we see a beautiful manoeuvre, and finally a sit-out double arm reverse slam, 1-2, and a kick out from Underwood. Lovely series of reversals there. Shrahan coming out on top, but now an Irish whip being reversed from Underwood, and Shrahan firing off with a lovely spinning heel kick. Not enough to get the job done. Underwood managing to kick out a very stocky and resilient wrestler who's absorbed a great deal of punishment, notably being power slammed off the ring apron in his epic battle with Chris Justice, and a slap to the back and an Irish whip shooting Shrahan off, and a huge spine buster. Shrahan again grasping his head and neck, 1-2. You've got to think that there's not a great deal left in Shrahan's upper body. He's absorbed quite a number of high offense manoeuvres, and he has been seen grasping his head and neck and shoulders throughout this match. A hard forearm from Underwood. Following it up with a press slam, doesn't quite get it. Shrahan being tossed unceremoniously over his head, landing hard on his back on the floor, and a big hard blow to the back again. Shrahan managing to vault over with consummate grace, and a back suplex of his own, regular style this time, landing on his back. But that's what he's done. He's getting back into the flow of things, getting back into the game. He's starting to feel it, and Shrahan needs to mount a proper comeback if he wants to continue within this match. A big hard forearm, and floating up with a lovely enziguri. Underwood toppling from the ring apron all the way to the floor. Shrahan now on the apron, running, diving off with a lovely cannonball senton, maxing out on the floor and wiping out Underwood. Chaos looking on very concerned through the bottom and middle ropes on the other side of the ring, and Underwood is being tossed back in by Eamon Shrahan. Another kick out from Mark Underwood. And Shrahan firing off a big hard forearm. These two did in fact debut against each other at Academy Revolt and a Alabama Slam perhaps. My goodness me, into the turnbuckles, an Alabama Slam directly into the turnbuckles, and Shrahan, his head, neck and shoulders have to be in vast amounts of pain, as we see there, being slammed directly into the turnbuckles. An enormous manoeuvre from these two, who, as I stated, debuted against each other. At that point, Mark Underwood was victorious. Who's to say how well he'll do in this match? However, he has been looking very impressive so far. Underwood again looking for that TKO. Shrahan managed to reverse it previously, landing on his feet once more, going for the Sloan, the Irish goodbye, but no, being lifted up into another Alabama Slam perhaps. Yes, a second of these huge manoeuvres. Underwood grabbing his back, gasping in pain, and looking down at Chaos at ringside for some guidance. Spitting charmingly in the ring, and Shrahan gradually getting up to his feet, still rather dazed and dozy. Underwood not helping by that trash talking, and a slap round to the back of the head, and now indicating perhaps that it's time for one more TKO. No, again reversed into an inside cradle. 1, 2, and was that it? I think it was. There we go, we saw it. It didn't take an Irish goodbye, it merely took a crafty reversal of the TKO into a small package inside cradle, and Underwood is incensed. He's just been dominating Shrahan for the last portion of that match. It's time for tonight's main event. As the champion Stixx, there we see, again with Chaos, raising his hands, that Academy Championship wrapped firmly around his waist. He'll be taking on the pugnacious young Dan Head. There we see him, ready and waiting, gamely in the ring. Dan Head and Max Voltage, of course, winning the accolade of the Academy's #1 tag team at the Winchester River Park Leisure Centre one-night tag team tournament event. Dan Head pinning the champion Stixx after a misfire from Sloan, which led him to break off from Stixx's group. Dan Head, from that pinning predicament, managing to earn this title shot against Stixx. Stixx, of course, of the opinion that no one should simply be able to earn a title shot like that. They should earn it by beating opponent after opponent after opponent. Only then can they take on the man they call Stixx. This match being contested under non-title rules, sadly for Dan Head, but it's still an awesome chance for him to prove himself against this London-based behemoth.
Introducing first, he is the local lad from right here in Portsmouth, Dan Head. And his opponent from London, being accompanied to the ring by Chaos. He is the FWA Academy champion. This is Stixx.
And a chorus of boos there, a unanimous response pretty much from the audience in attendance at Buckland Community Centre. And just look at the fire, the passion, the heart and the energy just emanating from Dan Head. He really wants to do all he can to prove himself, and before Stixx has even turned round, Dan Head, I would suggest doing the smart thing and really taking it to the far, far bigger Academy champion, who just reversed at the flick of a switch and cut him off with that big hard short arm clothesline, taking Dan Head down. Dan Head, with so much resilience and so much passion, will do all he can within this match. You can tell, to take down Stixx, but Stixx wanting to slow things down, it appears, from the early goings with that big chokehold, one of his huge size 12 boots, taking Dan Head right into the corner and pressing up against his throat. And now a press slam, but no, Dan Head managing to land on his feet, firing off a big forearm, make that 3, an Irish whip, but again Stixx reversing and Dan Head shooting him off with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Dan Head clotheslining Stixx down to the floor on the outside and scoping him out. Running against the ropes, hitting that big drop kick, taking Stixx down on the floor, and then Dan Head now firing off some forearms on the floor, smashing him around the back of the head. Dan Head really on the aggressive in the early goings of this match, and people may not have predicted it, but it's not all that surprising. Dan Head working so hard whenever he's in the ring and doing all he can this time to take down the mighty Stixx. Stixx cutting him off, however, shooting him into that ring post, knocking him down, and Dan Head looking to get back up onto his feet and continue this match. Stixx instead opting to lift him up by the hair and shoot off a big headbutt. He doesn't want to be doing that. Dan Head appears to have some sort of copyright on that manoeuvre, so favourite is it of him. And Stixx getting back into the ring, but Dan Head using a chop block instead to take him down, and a few kicks to the back of the leg. Dan Head suddenly targeting Stixx's left leg, an Irish whip, and Dan Head running in, catching Stixx's leg, however, and dropping down, hyperextending it and breaking it across his shoulder. A lovely manoeuvre, and now a leg whip takedown. Dan Head turning him over and going for a submission, I believe. A single leg deathlock style manoeuvre. He's got it. Falling all the way back onto his own back. Dan Head applying a great deal of pressure to Stixx's left leg, and it appears we've just witnessed Dan Head's game plan. Stixx, incredibly big, Dan Head looking to take down one of his legs, similar perhaps to the way Raj Ghosh and Paul Birchall's match went. Raja looking to chop down the tree that is Birchall. Dan Head looking to do the same to the enormous redwood that is Stixx. Stixx getting to his feet, his leg visibly injured. Dan Head giving it a kick to the back of the leg. Another one. And a knee blocked. Being lifted up into a wheelbarrow and a rib breaker. But Stixx really should have thought about that a bit more, because he dropped him down on his left leg, and in doing so added to the injury and the damage which Dan Head has already inflicted upon it. Whilst a very effective manoeuvre working on Dan Head's ribs, which have been previously broken and bruised in epic feuds with Mark Underwood, who caused him to bleed internally. Dan Head's ribs have taken a bit of a pasting from that manoeuvre, and that headbutt right there, sending Dan Head down to the floor, didn't help. But at the same time, Stixx's leg just got a good seeing to while Stixx executed that manoeuvre of his own. And my goodness me, that suplex dumping Dan Head ribs first onto the ropes is really going to do vast amounts of damage. Another knee from Stixx. Really needs to think about being careful with that leg. And there we see a big hard knee to the gut, and Stixx again limping. Stixx is primarily left-footed and thus will revert to that knee whenever he needs to use any knee-based manoeuvres. Sadly, that's going to injure him quite a great deal after Dan's substantial leg work which he's inflicted on Stixx earlier in the match. Another knee to the gut. Dan Head's ribs taking a right pounding. Dan Head, of course, faced his trainer, the specialist Mark Sloan, in a match, and Dan fought that entire match with his ribs taped up. You've got to wonder how much of that damage was long lasting. Dan Head, very tough backstage, doesn't like to talk about his injuries too much, appearing to be fit and healthy, but you can never be too sure. Stixx now going for that abdominal stretch. The referee looking down at Dan Head. Stixx taking this opportunity conveniently to award himself a bit of extra leverage in the form of that top rope. And now a shot to the gut, a shot to the leg. Both men working on their respective injured body parts. Both men having to break off simultaneously after each man attempting to hack at their opponent's injured body part. Both men having to break off at the same time, the injury causing each other being too great. And now Stixx firing off an Irish whip, spinning Dan Head round. Dan Head landing on his feet, however, looking for a manoeuvre of some sort. Stixx going for a kick, Dan Head catching, spinning him around, and a forearm to the head. One more, and Dan Head spinning around and tripping Stixx's leg up. Very smart of Dan to pick Stixx's leg, and very impressive he's managed to do so much damage to it so far. And now a figure 4 leg lock is going to continue that damage. Stixx in a whole world of pain. He's got nowhere to go, nothing to do. He's got to reach those ropes, and he does so. That was his only course of action, that figure 4 leg lock, ripping his leg tendons apart, just causing him vast amounts of pain. Dan Head now getting back to his feet, ribs still very possibly injured, and now another forearm to that bullet head of Stixx. Make that 2. Dan Head being reversed and shot into the ropes, and Stixx lifting him straight up and dumping him right down, ribs first, landing flat on his stomach and ribs on that hard mat. Stixx waiting for Dan Head to get to his feet. Stixx's leg still twinging, as we can see. His knee still not 100%. Kick to the gut there for Dan, whose ribs are most certainly not anywhere near 100% after the various brutality which Stixx has inflicted upon it. And now lifting him up, dumping him straight back down onto his knee. But my goodness, again, Stixx suffering the fate that he had suffered before. That knee, that leg, previously attacked by Dan Head, is still not at 100%, and Stixx is now limping, operating almost from one leg only. Unusual position Dan Head, stomach first on the top turnbuckle, and there we see Stixx simply using it as an opportunity to pick apart Dan Head's ribs once more, and Dan Head just collapsing down to the floor. A knee drop into his ribs, awesomely effective manoeuvre. Dan Head could have had a rib broken with that sort of manoeuvre, with that sort of weight inflicted, but Stixx again, his knee anywhere near 100%. It's not fit and it's not healthy. Needs to bear this in mind. Dan Head running off the ropes but being caught in a bear hug. Stixx's grip damn near unbreakable. Dan Head must be having the life squeezed out of him, and as you can see, his eyes starting to glaze over, his arm draped limply in front of his face. The fans attempting to will him on, but Dan Head not having a great deal of life left in him. One hard forearm followed by another, and a big clap round the ears, finally managing to break it off, but Stixx lifting him up and drilling him into that top turnbuckle, and Dan Head is on Dream Street right now. Again, that bear hug viciously applied by Stixx, continuing to squeeze and compress the air from his lungs and those ribs, bruising them. Dan Head finally resorting to those famous headbutts of his. He's hit two, a third, finally managing to break it. Dan Head running off the ropes, hitting a fourth. He's managed to stagger the big man, running off, grasping at his ribs while he does so. Stixx finally down to one knee, but no, going for a shot, ducked, and Dan Head hitting that charging headbutt, finally taking the champion down. Dan Head, so far, having done far more than many would have thought possible, managing to hit that enormous headbutt and take down the champion. A sunset flip out of the corner there, 1, 2, and no, 2 only. Stixx rolling out before the 3 count, and a drop kick right to his head. Dan Head getting back up onto his feet. No, instead rolling Stixx over, going for a cover. 1, 2, Stixx kicking out finally before the 3 count. Dan Head slapping the mat in frustration, in anger, in rage, and perhaps in part to inspire himself to fight on, to soldier on, and to continue in this epic battle against Stixx. Spinning around, and a big neck breaker on the big man. Snapping his neck hard. Are we going to see a 3 count? No, apparently not. On the left hand side of your screen there we see Chaos helpfully moving Stixx's leg to the point of breaking up that cover. Lovely, against the rules of course, but the referee out of position and failing to see it, and Dan Head looking for that reverse tree of woe, which will enable him to hit those series of devastating charging headbutts. There's 1, there's 2, and let's hope Stixx doesn't value his brain cells too much, because Dan Head's going for a 3rd, but no, Stixx placing his arm, his hand around Dan Head in a choking position, and my God, a DDT off the middle rope. Dan Head using a low blow and then a DDT to take him down, and whereabouts is the referee, because Stixx just got dropped straight on his head. First the neck breaker, then the DDT. Referee Andy Quilden is distracted. Dan Head had the chance to take this match home, win this match, pin the champion. Surely that would have earned him a title shot. Surely that would advance the name of Dan Head. But there we see a spine buster, dropping Dan Head on his back. The back of his ribs specifically have got to be searing with pain. 1, 2, but luckily Dan Head managing to kick out before that final 3 count. His arms reaching into the air, pulling any ounces of energy that he can achieve from anywhere, doing anything he can to fight back from the monster. Stixx currently drilling him into that corner, those ribs being so methodically and so violently taken apart. Stixx moving out of the way and catching his feet underneath the middle tensioner, unable to move. Dan Head knocking him down, and it's gonna be that diving Van Terminator headbutt, and Dan Head, he's got his sights set on performing this manoeuvre from all the way across the ring on the opposite side. Dan Head getting ready, surely he can't hit it, standing up, wanting to go for it. There we see, my God, perfect connection there. Dan Head sailing across the ring with incredible grace, hitting that Van Terminator leaping headbutt, careering across the ring, but just think of what it did to his ribs. I'm surprised he's standing. No, there we see him staggering back down. The damage that did to his ribs was unknowable, but surely great. 1, 2, and a kick out there. Andy Quilden telling us that it was only a 2 count. FWA Academy's senior official ruling that this match between Stixx and Dan Head with chaos at ringside is still in session, and Dan Head looking to take it home. What can he do? Stixx turning around, and Dan Head, is he going to hit it? That headliner, but no, Stixx had it scouted, lifting up full Nelson, spinning around into a gut breaker, and Eamon Shrahan is making his presence felt. Eamon Shrahan, the crowd have been clamouring for him all match. Stixx is getting up, and Eamon Shrahan tapping him on the shoulder. Stixx wondering who that third man could be. Here we see it, the Irish goodbye, the Sloan warrior. Stixx just being planted directly on his face with one of the most lethal finishing manoeuvres in the academy today. Eamon dropping down so the referee doesn't see it. I'm not even sure if Dan Head saw it, but Stixx is down. This is the Irish goodbye, and will it be goodbye for Stixx? Will Dan Head get the pin? Come on, he's spinning him over for the cover. We're going to see it. 1, 2. And Stixx kicks out before the 3 count. Stixx kicks out before the final 3 count. He's managed to kick out of the Irish goodbye. He managed to kick out of that enormous Van Terminator headbutt. Dan Head still doing all he can to pin the champion Stixx. But my goodness me, he kicked out of Eamon's finishing manoeuvre. And what more can be done to a man such as that? Surely nothing short of killing him will take him down now. Stixx leaping up. A kick straight to the gut. Dan Head being lifted up onto his shoulders in the fireman's carry, and my goodness me, an enormous manoeuvre, leaping him over that big huge gut buster all the way over the fireman's carry, dumping him down onto his knees. And Shrahan, we can see, aghast, in shock. He cannot believe that Stixx kicked out of the Sloan warrior in the centre of the ring fairly and squarely, and though this man cheats like hell, and there we can see him with a baseball bat, Sloan, the specialist Mark Sloan, just running through. He looked as if he was going for Dan, but no, he just took out Stixx. These two parted ways. Clearly that feeling wasn't amicable. 1, 2, this surely it, and my goodness me, chaos just pulling him out. We just saw a specialist super kick, one of the specialist's favourite finishing manoeuvres, but no, again, Stixx not losing the match. Chaos pulled him out. We didn't see a kick out. If it hadn't been for that, Dan Head could have pinned the champion, but Stixx now managing to get to his feet. He's got that big gold academy belt. Shot to the gut, taking Dan Head straight down. Dan Head in vast amounts of pain. The referee being shooed back into the ring. The Stixx shift driver. 1, 2, 3, and that is all she wrote. A valiant effort from Dan Head, but at the end of the day, Stixx proved his worth. He kicked out of the Irish goodbye, he kicked out of the super kick, and Dan Head did all he could. Hit that incredible Van Terminator style headbutt all the way across the ring with consummate grace and so much fire, charisma, so much strength. Dan Head couldn't get the job done, and Stixx is still the man to beat in the FWA Academy.